Hello, dear listener. I'm your host, Tyke, and today my guest is a tech and business attorney operating from Dubai. Gordon, tell me who you are and what you do.
Pleasure to talk to you and pleasure to talk to your guests or indirectly talk to your guests. My name is Gordon Einstein. I'm a U.S. licensed attorney living in Dubai. Got into crypto and blockchain in around 2014,
Mhm.
which evolved my practice. I briefly stopped practicing law, but I went back into law because I discovered Bitcoin. And it's been a wild ride these past 11 years,
How many years is it that you're practicing law already?
since 1995. 30 years. Like, I know, I know, crazy.
How?
It's like a jail sentence. Okay. But kidding aside, there was a pause in the middle because I briefly practiced less,
Yeah.
and I set up a company in the United States where we're doing cloud computing or remote desktop for law firms, and that was a solid 10 years. But like I mentioned, I discovered blockchain and crypto in 2014, and that pivoted me back into law. And I think most people know that it's unusual for many lawyers leave law. It's very unusual for many lawyers to go back into law. It's kind of like checking yourself back into prison because you missed the food and your roommate. So I did that in 2014 once I got exposed in Ukraine of all places to blockchain and crypto, and it changed my life.
Okay, we're going to
And
get
now,
to that point. What I
okay,
want to know now
sure.
is how did you even get into law?
How did I get into law? That's an interesting question. I kind of, to be honest, had a negative view of lawyers, the law, and the legal system. And I graduated from college and I decided I wanted to go into business. And someone, maybe my mom, fed me the line that a law degree is just as good as an MBA.
Hmm.
So I went to law school with no intent to practice, or just, if anything, to practice very briefly. Um, then I found myself, strangely enough, liking some of it, constitutional law, for example, in some commercial cases, especially First Amendment law, which relates to freedom of speech. And lo and behold, I practiced for 6, 7, 8 years before I started that computer company. Now I'd say I'm a little bit more of a businessman slash investor in addition to being a lawyer. So it's a big blend.
I can see a thread connecting your sympathy towards the freedom of speech
Yes.
and
You're a good listener.
I
Okay.
guess blockchain technology.
Yes. But that's a perceptive comment. There's actually some literature that talks about money as speech,
Yeah.
not just a way to facilitate speech, but money as speech, in the sense that it's a value transmission device.
Hmm.
Obviously it's enabler speech is kind of what I was getting at. Um, can't eat, you can't really speak.
Hmm.
And I wouldn't say I was necessarily a libertarian before, but
Yeah.
I am a big fan of economic autonomy and privacy, which are sort of fellow travelers with free speech.
So we can easily say that. Okay, no. I'm not going to jump into conclusions. Uh, I want to know what were you doing in Ukraine, and how did you come
Mhm.
across blockchain there?
Okay. So I have this tech company in the US called Adaptive Sky. That's the one I mentioned before. I decided to have my company exhibit in New York
Mm-hmm.
at Legal Tech. And so we were doing our business, and this couple came up to the booth and they started speaking in Russian. Can't say I'm fluent in Russian. I can't say I'm good at it, but I've always liked the language.
Mm-hmm.
So I started talking with them as best as I could. And it turned out that they were the co-founders of one of the first, and now I'd say the biggest, blockchain software development house in Ukraine, which is Distributed Lab.
Mm-hmm.
And we hit it off really nicely. And they say, Gordon, have you ever been to Ukraine? And I said, I'm a loser American. I haven't left the country for 20 years and I don't even have a passport. They said, as soon as you get a passport and it's usually ready to come out, we're happy to host you.
Mm-hmm.
So call it a month later, a few weeks later, I was on a flight to Odessa, Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
So they brought all their blockchain and crypto and Bitcoin friends to come visit me in Odessa.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about Bitcoin or blockchain or any of this stuff, but I began to learn. And on the second or third exposure to this, I realized a couple of things. Number one, I realized this would be an interesting area for law if I went into it. the crypto blockchain and all that. But I also realized that these technologies can make law better. And I was one of the first lawyers to do it in 2014. So if you look at my YouTube and you look at my record, that goes way back. I'm not a recent arrival. And I may be known for a few things, YouTube channel, et cetera, but I think maybe the main thing I'm known for is successfully figuring out the application of US securities law to tokens. Because when you issue a token, especially in the beginning, the fact is a token doesn't tell you anything about the legal nature of what it is that it represents. Is it a payment mechanism? Is it a security? Is it commodity? Is it like a token at a video arcade? So I was one of the first lawyers to actually understand all this and apply it to different tokens. And which of course is necessary both to get investment in the platforms and also to get those tokens listed on various exchanges. So it's been a fun road.
And back then, when you switched in 2014, basically, there was probably not much competition either.
No, it was great.
And you're
I don't mind competition. I think competition is kind of fun, but
Yeah.
it gave me maybe a little bit of breathing room as a solo attorney to figure these things out and to be ahead of the curve. And it was kind of fun to have large law firms asking me for advice on how to do this stuff.
Okay. What happened next?
Just my practice took off. I did a huge amount of international travel. I did a huge amount of international speaking. Got sort of famous on the crypto and blockchain circuit. And then a friend of mine who was in Dubai said, Gordon, come on out to Dubai. Crypto is happening here. So I flew out for a week. I saw that it was a crypto and blockchain friendly environment. I saw that the gyms were open. I saw that people were friendly. After a week of that, I was like, I got Dubai fever. Flew back to Los Angeles, wrapped up my life there, which was about a 3 or 4 month process. And I moved back to Dubai. And it's been amazing. And it's not just in crypto and blockchain that they're very progressive. It's in all these other technologies as well. And so my practice are re-expanded to be tech in general. That's number one. Number two is I think you're aware, just over a year ago, so a year and 14 weeks, if I'm doing my math correctly, we started Dubai Tech Tuesdays. And so that's a weekly event that I co-organize and host with my business partner, Mohammed Siam, and my wife, Irina. And so that's been very successful. We've done 66 of those, and the community has really blossomed. And we're very consistent every week. We did it including the day my son was born. Okay, to just kind of visualize that. I came my son and then I ran over and ran the event. And so that's been, we had a little side event yesterday, and several people made the comment that they've been in Dubai for years and years and they'd never seen anything like it. They'd never seen anything like it in terms of the consistency, in terms of the quality of the community, in terms of the trustworthiness of the community, which is something that you don't always get. In places where there's a lot of money floating around and people are in and out and there's bling, and crypto and all that other stuff. And so that's, it's sort of a labor of love. It's not a moneymaker itself directly. I mean, I'm a lawyer, so hosting an event doesn't make a difference for anything. But in terms of social capital and connectivity and public profile, it's been a godsend. And so now the powers that be in Dubai and elsewhere have noticed us and they're backing us, and that's really taken off. So I'm very proud of that.
Is that your main thing at the moment?
No, the main thing at the moment is, like I mentioned, I have a business partner, Mohammed Siam. He's very good. We're working with businesses to bring them to the UAE, or if they're in the UAE, to help them be successful. We're bringing them there. Our network is just so massive, whether it's technology or help with regulation or investors, or, we always look to people. Whenever we meet someone, we're evaluating 3 things. Do we like them? Do we / trust them? It's kind of the same thing. Okay. What do they have to offer? And what do they need, or what do they need help with? Because if you know those 3 things, then you can work with them. So that's the main business. I want businesses that make a lot of money, that make the world a better place, and are cool. They have to be cool. Otherwise I get bored.
And so my next question for this point is, what's the problem you solve with the business?
I'd say we're helping businesses that are either looking to come here or already here to scale across every metric using our vast network of trustworthy resources and partners.
How long have you been doing this already?
So that's reasonably recent. Let's call it a year and a half or 2 years. But I've been doing everything leading up to that. It takes a while to get your footing in Dubai. And the thing I mentioned about trustworthiness is part of what makes you trustworthy is being here for a while and having a network and having other people talk nicely about you when you're not present, which of course is a big key.
So you're helping businesses come to Dubai and using your vast network, helping them establish there.
Let me just catch that. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of people, and I try not to be one of them.
Okay.
There's a lot of corporate reps, what do you want to call it, corporate service providers out there, where their business is company setup, visas, even lifestyle concierge, all that stuff. That's great. I've used them, but that's not us. What I'm here to do is to, again, evaluate what this company is, trustworthy, good, whatever. What do they need? What do they have to offer? Okay. Are they in a business that's making money, making the world a better place? And is it cool? Okay. Once that's all figured out, we plug them into our vast resource enabled smart network and make the world a better place by helping them succeed.
And what is it that you're trying to achieve?
My first thing I'm trying to achieve, just be super honest, is leave a good legacy for my family, both reputationally and financially, and, nice, clean, and legal, and something that makes them safe and happy in the 2030s, 40s, 50s, and 60s as AI takes over the world. So there's that inner circle. Like, you want to do Maslow, that's like there. The next thing I'm looking to achieve is maybe you'll smile at this. So, when I was growing up, way before your same age as your dad, probably, we were sold a future of off-world colonies and flying cars and robots and living to 120 and all this other stuff back in the 70s and 80s. And the world in the future we were promised wasn't delivered. Here we are in 2025. I mean, we should all be living to 120 years old. Cancer should be solved, all this stuff. So I had that kind of realization about 15 years ago that the future wasn't arriving on schedule. And so my job is to facilitate the future happening in a positive way.
I was actually struggling to find the next question because you are very certain on what you're looking for, and you're very certain on what you want to build, what you want to achieve. And at the same time, you have the community where you connect people. And it's hard for me to ask the question about who you want to connect with because
No, it's a valid question. So look, let's apply the criteria.
Yeah.
Okay. So the people I want to meet, the people the community wants to meet, is people that are trustworthy / we get along with them, that are active in doing things or open to that. Okay. And are resourceful. And and I don't mean just clever. I mean, full of resources.
Yeah.
What does that mean? It can be money. Capital is important. Capital makes things. It could be technical knowledge or expertise or those relationships. Resourceful could mean clever or wise. So, it takes many, successes does actually have many fathers and mothers. So I want to meet, and the community wants to meet people like that.
And you've met with so many people, did so many different things, been in various industries as well. What did you learn? What was your number one takeaway from all of the past years of your life?
I alluded to it before, but I'll say it again. There's no substitute for action. There's no substitute for getting started and then continuing. Okay. Because studying is great and talking is great and marketing is great, but there's an unassailable inevitability to someone who takes action over time. It's what really separates everyone.
Thank you, Gordon. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your insights and the story. Really appreciate you being here
pleasure.
today. Thank you for joining us today. Leave any questions for Gordon in the comments. I'll leave links to find him in the description, and I'll see you in the next episode.